All right. So there we go.
Also, now we're live. I guess we can start over.
Dude, no, it's all good. Well, you know what? Actually, you're right. You're right. We should do it correctly. And
Okay.
so let's go back. But all you Instagram folks that are here, don't go away. Them just I'm gonna be sharing this with the folks that are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter and on Twitch and all that kind of stuff. So they can see what y'all have been seeing. And that's the great thing about a first show.
Yeah.
Oh God. So here we go to do our theme music and we're gonna get into this, y'all. Here
Yeah,
we go.
just
Hey,
like the
fusing
podcast.
music, connecting people, making a difference. This is Jazz in the Spirit with Richard DeBrew Jr. Oh yeah. There we go. What's going on, y'all? So we had started this, or I thought we started this before, but I got a little trigger happy. And so yes, this is my brother Terrence Richburg, wonderful musician, and he is my very first guest on this broadcast. And as you heard, Jazz in the Spirit is all about fusing music, connecting people, and making a difference. And today we're going to get into a few things, but we're going to talk about this topic of challenging the status quo a more excellent way, which is based on the passage of scripture from 1 Corinthians 13. So we're going to get to that. But Terrence, for everybody's sake, just tell them a little bit more about you, or you could reiterate. That's all right, because these folks didn't get to hear it the first time, and I want them to know who you is.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on with you. Um, we actually have recently got to become friends and got to hook up. Andrea Williams was the one who brought us together.
Hmm.
A very dear friend of both of ours who worked with us as far as our music is concerned and trying to get it out and publicizing it and everything. So I want to give her a shout out
Hey,
for helping to put us together.
that's right.
Um, but yeah, I came from a rich tradition of music. My parents were both gospel musicians and recording artists, along with my uncle. My aunt Ronnie Wells is a well-renowned jazz singer. She was responsible for helping to put together the East Coast Jazz Festival. Um, and so it's just kind of in my blood to do both gospel and jazz. And as I traveled in both of those genres, in terms of performance, in terms of hearing it and growing up with it, it just became a part of who I was and a
Hmm.
very strong part of me, especially in my
Absolutely.
Christian walk. So,
I know that's right. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Well, we're so glad to have you here. And Andrea is awesome. Those of you that know about Jazz in the Spirit, she was one of the ones who really pushed me to get it out there. So yeah, I'm so glad that she was able to connect us. And wherever she is, whatever she's doing, hey.
Hey, gotta find the camera.
So, so dude, we want to get into a little bit of music. So if you could do me a favor, in this, Terrence has this. If you've never seen a bass with 7 strings, it is something to behold. But you got to check this out. So Terrence, can you do me a favor? Because we're talking about the fusing of these styles.
Mhm.
For the folks in the back, can you give an example of like a signature gospel phrase, and then like a signature jazz phrase, and then how you might put them together to form this thing we call gospel jazz?
Well, I was thinking about when you were asking me to do that, and I'm like, well, gospel has so many different styles.
Hmm.
So like
Just
a
pick one.
signature, I'm like, whatever I do is going to be both in
Hmm.
gospel and jazz, pretty much. Uh, but I'll do this song.
Hmm. Yes, sir. Hmm. Yes. All right. So now give us a little something from the jazz book.
Let's see.
Yeah, it could even just be a phrase. It don't even have to be a whole song,
You know what that is, right?
Man, so what?
Very appropriate.
I'm just playing. I'm, for those of you that may not be familiar, that's a song. It's a very, very famous song by Miles Davis called "So What." It's an
Yeah.
absolute jazz classic, and it was played by the bass player. So yeah, this is definitely one that all y'all bass players. That's one that you need to know if you don't know it already.
Yeah.
So now, how would you, for example, put like some of the gospel stuff and some of the jazz stuff together to form something like that?
Well, what's interesting is that gospel and both gospel and jazz use improvisation
Hmm.
in terms of what we do with it. Most
Right.
songs um, in the jazz realm, we might have a melody that we start off with, but
Hmm.
then it gets into solos and maybe taking certain motifs or phrases from the main melody and to try to work through some ideas that the artist with the soloist has. So,
Hmm.
and then a lot of vocalists and gospel jazz instrumentalists do the same kind of thing. They'll take the phrase and then they'll do some ad libs and some things above it. So, just taking Amazing Grace.
Oh yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Ooh.
for solos, you could
Yeah.
so some blues, you can use some different scales that you might want to put with it. But
Hmm.
it's basically, I think jazz and gospel marry up really well because, like I said, the improvisation carries over to both styles.
Hmm. Absolutely. Well, dude, thank you so much. Now people have, an oral example of kind of what we're talking about and how these two get fused. Because each one of these styles has a rich history, but there's also a history of fusing them, which people may not have known about. Um, for example, some of the classic ones. If you've never heard of Duke Ellington, he wrote a piece called Come Sunday,
Yeah.
and it was truly a marriage of gospel and jazz. Um, he had one of the most famous gospel singers of his day, Mahalia Jackson, singing it. And then there's also that group Take Six that has won a Grammy as a jazz artist and a gospel artist in the same year when they first came
Yeah.
out. And they've just been on a trajectory ever since. So those are just two very, very popular examples. But yeah, so each one of these has a rich history, but when we put them together, oh man, what a day of rejoicing it will be.
Yes.
So, Terrence, even though we grew up in different cities, we both found our way to this music. And, Andrea, we just talked about her, introduced us. What do you think is the benefit of connecting other artists and fans of gospel jazz? What do you think the benefit of doing that kind of connection can be for us today?
Well, I think one of the main things that we both have talked about this is that gospel jazz tends to not be something that rises to the top of uh, the mountain in terms of promotion, in terms of acceptance, in terms of people really knowing and getting to hear the music. And so I think the importance about trying to do the kinds of things that we're doing is to really introduce people to what gospel jazz is. Because gospel jazz is great music musically, but it's also great for healing people and for helping people
All right now.
when they're going through hard times. It can uplift them because it's not just based musically; it's also based in a spiritual setting. And even though I might play something that's basically an instrumental phrase or even a solo, one of the things that I featured back on something that I had been doing in the past, Gospel Jazz Central, is when I talked about the origins of gospel jazz. And I said, well, you go back to David in the Bible, David played the harp. And one of the things that he did with the harp is that he helped to soothe the king's, when he was going through the emotional issues and basically going out of his mind, helped soothe him with what he was going through. And so the music has a tendency to be a healing source. And so for us to be able to promote that and get it to the people, I think it will be a source of healing, a source of uplifting people and celebration, both on the musical and the spiritual level.
Sweet. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I totally agree. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to have you here. So, you said you were working on a new album. Can I give them a little taste of that? The one that which is which one is the one that you sent me? I'm gonna pull it up right now. It was was it definitely? Is it that one? Or is it
Yeah, that's one that I started, so that's going to be on the new album. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, we want to give them a little taste of that. So let me see here. I want to make sure that I got the right one here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to share. Wait a minute. Pause. Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. Oops. Wait a minute. Almost.
It's coming.
Uh-huh. Well, it was almost about to not share the audio, and that would not have been good. So let's see. Uh-huh. Oops. Oh.
That's too much information.
I'm telling you, dude, this is something. But it's fun though. It's good to do this because you have to have somebody who can really rock with to go ahead and do this first one with you. All right, so I'm gonna turn the volume up so the other folks can hear this on the gram too. Let me see.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got. Look at all these instruments, y'all. So he's kicking it off with the bass, right? And his foot's going. Now the guitar. Take 6 with one dude. was good. I got the synth. And y'all got to see these chords, man. Yeah. Say all that. That's funky, dude. Uh-oh. Now he's rocking the guitar. All right, you want the rest, you got a bad album. All right, I'm gonna bring this back down. All right, you say something. I just want to make sure I'm still hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, brother.
Man. I tell you. So, yeah, up a little bit. All right, so yeah, that is awesome. And what's the name of that one?
That's called
Definitely.
That was called Definitely.
Definitely is the song. And then which album is it going to be on?
Oh, the album's called Treasures.
Treasures, right.
Yeah.
And you may as well throw that in too. He's got a book, y'all, called Wisdom Treasures.
Yeah,
that's already out, right?
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah.
You can get all of that on Amazon and of course iTunes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so let's see. Oh man, they said they couldn't hear the music. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was wondering about because I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, you couldn't hear it. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna try it one more time.
Yeah, try to hook it up a little bit.
Let's see. All right, so that's going. And I know. Maybe that volume on the thing was down. Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, you had it up loud earlier.
I know it. It was cranking. All right, let me see. Doo-doo-doo. All right, so those of you that are streaming, let me see if y'all can hear it. Put something in the chat if you can hear it.
Yeah, it's low.
Okay, let's see. It's low, but you can still hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's coming out. Oops. Okay. So I'm trying to see if what I can do is I can put the I could just put it up, as a link for folks to be able to see it.
The link up.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're gonna be featuring you this whole month, so it's all good. Okay, so no, it still wasn't coming through that time. All right. Well, that's why we keep tweaking, right? But the good thing is
you can do it in the future too.
we definitely will. So let's see. When as we're kind of flowing through the different aspects of what we're talking about here, we've been talking about fusing music. We've been talking about our own connection and how this music connects people. But we want to get into a little deepness too.
Uh-huh.
So in this part, you and I have been in this game for many years, and we've seen this kind of like dog eat dog culture that the industry created. I got mine, so you got to get yours, and every man and woman and child for themselves. And folks always seem to be competing. Like, I can't succeed unless I'm better than you, or, like I can't share with you because if I give my stuff away, then you will have a competitive advantage. You know what I mean? And that I can't do that. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to be on the top of the charts. That's cool. But all this, what I call going for self, that's what we used to call it in Brooklyn. I really believe that there's a better way that we can do this. So, 1 Corinthians 12 going into 13 talks about, I will show you a more excellent way. So Terrence, the scripture. How do you think we can challenge that industry status quo with a more excellent way in this day and time?
Well, I think one of the first things we need to recognize is that, everybody has their own niche, their own gift, and their value. And I think sometimes the industry tends to put more value on some and not everyone in terms of their ability to share. Now, I'm not advocating for mediocrity. I'm advocating for the fact that there's a lot of people who have excellent music, excellent gifts. And as the Bible talks about it, it says that everyone can't be what everyone else is. So like, the hand can't be the foot. Everyone has their own gift, their own purpose. And so when you add all of the gifts together, then it creates both unity and it creates perfection, because now everyone is working together, and the uniting of those gifts brings forth a level of perfection. And in our tradition, we want to offer our best to God. And so I think what we're dealing with is we need to get the word out that, I value you. I value your gift. I value what you're doing. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring people together to say, hey,
Yes.
this is a place where you can come and be accepted and get heard. And the issue is that because they're not being heard, there are people that are not being healed. There's music that is designed and given by God for certain people to hear. And once they hear it, then God can work through that medium to try to really heal them and reach them, and not just musically, but as I said before, spiritually. So I think we're just at that place where we're trying to push that and let people know that, you're accepted. We're bringing together a place where, we can work together and create a body of people as well as a body of work that will reach the world.
Mm-hmm. Man, thank you so much for that. This is how we make a difference. It's not about the big I and the little you. We come together and, we share. So, thank you, dude. I mean, I could say it, but it sounds so much better when you do.
Thank you, man.
And I'm going to say this too. I'm going to be a little, my son is always teasing me about my dad jokes, but I had to say it. This has been rich.
It's been rich.
Yeah.
Rich.
Y'all get it on the way home if you didn't get it yet. But so, today we've given you all, we're going to kind of wrap it up a little bit. We've given you all an idea of what fusing music looks like and sounds like. I've given you a little historical context, in that same spirit of putting things together. It's important that I not share my passion for this music without sharing my brother's passion for music. That's they go together. That's what the vision of Jazz in the Spirit really is. And that's why it's really important that you not only hear one voice, but you hear multiple voices. So y'all are going to hear about Terrence all month. I'm just letting y'all know. Be ready. This is going to be the full Terrence Richburg experience.
All right, now.
So check this out. You hear people talking about, gaining market share a lot, right, as a business goal. But I was thinking about this because, I'm a cymbals guy, No, I don't mean drums. Um, I was thinking about this like a pie imagery, like a pie that you eat. So check this out. If one person tries to hoard the whole pie, this great big pie to themselves, more than likely, unless they're just really, really greedy, and some are, they won't really get to the end of it. And some of it's going to get wasted, you know. But if they can share the pie with their brothers, with their sisters, everybody can eat and none of it gets wasted.
That's right.
So, I know it's a little deep, and I'm going to just let that sit with y'all to think about, because it's not a surface concept. You gotta think about that a little bit to unpack that. But dude, I really feel like if we can do more of that with each other and less of the dog eat dog, we can really make this world a better place. Real talk. And so, and that has applications far beyond music. Make a difference in someone else's life and watch yours change for the better. Okay.
I agree.
So, yeah. So,
and thank
dude,
you, because even this connection that we're doing today is part of that idea. It's supporting each other and understand. We're not in competition with each other. We're in support of
that's
each
right.
other. So that makes
That's
a big
right.
difference. Yeah.
Absolutely. And listen, the scripture says, one can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. But just imagine if more of us lock arms
Yeah.
and we are able to go directly to the people. We can actually impact the industry rather than always letting the industry impact us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one to think about.
All right.
But dude, I want to thank you for joining me today. All of you that are watching, thank you for joining us. This is the first episode, so we had a couple little things we got to tweak out, but
Yeah.
it's going to be good. And like I said, we're going to be featuring Terrence this whole month in various ways. So look for different things on the social media. Look for different things to get posted wherever you are. And let me see here. I'm trying to make sure that I don't miss anything. So, Terrence, tell the folks how they can find you.
Well, I have a website. It's real easy to remember. It's terrencerichburg.com. So make sure you make the right spelling. So you can see it on your screen. It's TerrenceRichburg.com.
B-U-R-G. Make sure, not B-E-R-G. Yeah.
So
Berg,
that
like
that
Pittsburgh.
website pretty much has everything that you want to know about me. It has my bios, has links to all of my social media, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever you're looking for. And that's basically it. If you want to pick up my product, it also has some product links on the store, on the website, or you can go directly to Amazon or iTunes and you can just put in my name and pretty much everything will come up. So.
Sweet. And we definitely want you to pick up the product, because that's how Brother Man can eat his pie. You feel me?
Yeah.
We want him to get some pie, man. We can't have him sitting out playing all the big old 7-string bass. That takes a lot of pie to eat that, to play that 7-string bass. You got to deal with all them. Yeah. So yes, I put it up on the little ticker so folks can see it on the stream. Now, y'all Instagram folks, you actually see his Instagram name right now. So it's very easy to like, follow, subscribe. You can do all of that. And of course, if you're trying to find him, you can find him through me too. So just you can come to Jazz in the Spirit, everything. We're streaming right now, live on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and even Twitch. I haven't heard my Twitch people today, so if y'all are there, holler back. We want to know what you thought of this first show. Definitely send us your messages. You can send DMs. You can make little comments and everything. We want to hear from you. And thank you, Miss Linda Carpenter Grantham. She said, "Congratulations, Terrence Richburg."
Oh, thank you, Linda. How you doing? How's Eric doing? Say hello to Eric to me.
Excellent. So, listen, I got a question for y'all. Would y'all like to see Mr. Terrence Richburg come back? You can put some stuff in the comments, because what we want to try to do, just to give a little variety, Next week we're gonna tighten it up a little. We're gonna be probably maybe about 15 minutes, but we want to get into some music a little deeper. I mean, you saw the brother can play, so we want to give him a chance to stretch out a little bit. Show you a little, get a little bit more in depth about the music that he does. And those of you that are non-musicians, that don't exclude you, we want you to check him out too, because you just watching him is like, oh man, it's very exciting to watch. So just look for him next week, the same time, 9:00. We can definitely be on time, but I told y'all we can kind of tighten it up today. But I want you to remember some very important stuff, okay? We have been fusing music, we have been connecting people, and we're making a difference, y'all. Those are 3 things you can remember. That's the essence of this whole Jazz in the Spirit vision. And it's different. It's different than what this industry is saying right now. And so we want some people who are like-minded to come on board with us. And, like I said, all this year, we're going to be spotlighting some different people. So once again, let us know what you think of the first show. And then check us out next week at 9:00. We'll be here on all these different platforms. All right. Just Jazz in the Spirit, everything. So Terrence, any last words for the folks before we go?
I just want to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your support, all the people that have signed on, and I see some messages coming up from different people that I know, and you all have just been great. Just continue to listen out for what I got some new music coming out. I know some people have been asking me about that, so just stay tuned. We got some more stuff coming, and just really appreciate you. Love you guys. I really do appreciate it. And I want to say thank you, Kathy. That's my wife.
Yes, you better. That's right. Well, I want to say thank you, Kathy, too. And while I'm at it, I want to thank my bride, the Reverend Makiba, who is always keeping me straight. She was the one who told me that it was not going live, y'all. So all y'all who are watching the stream, say thank you, Reverend Makiba.
Thank you,
because otherwise you would have seen nothing, and I would have been going on with my merry little self. But man, this has been so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to what this year is going to bring. There's a lot of new music coming down the pike, original music, original thinking, and we're not just doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, because we are challenging the status quo, and there really is a more excellent way. So thank you, guys. I'm going to do my little outro. I'm really excited about it. And I want to say, once again, thank you, Terrence. And we're going to see you next week. Same time, same channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks. So listen up. Here's my little thing. If you missed the beginning, now you can hear the end. Hey.
Fusing music, connecting people, making a difference. This is Jazz in the Spirit with Richard DeBrew Jr.
All right, folks. Well, we'll see you soon. Send us messages, and y'all have a great night. All right.
Y'all take care now. Thank you.